Sanye Juda Zogi Shonanda Chanchu Bagu Dani Gyatsu Shi Dagi Jinsu Gibe Sonangi Dola Benji Sanye Dupara Isho Sanye Juda Zogi Shonanda Chanchu Bagu Dani Gyatsu Shi Dagi Jinsu Gibe Sonangi Dola Benji Sanye Dupara Isho Sanye Juda Zogi Shonanda Chanchu Bagu Dani Gyatsu Shi Dagi Jinsu Gibe Sonangi Dola Benji Sanye Dupara Isho. I go for refuge until enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, and the accumulation of practice of giving and so forth, never become a Buddha to benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge until enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, and the accumulation of practice of giving and so forth, never become a Buddha to benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge until enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, and the accumulation of practice of giving and so forth, never become a Buddha to benefit of all sentient beings. Om Ye Dharma Hetum Pralava Hetum Desham Tathagato Yavata Desham Chayo Niroda Evam Vadi Mahashamana Yeswa. Okay. Now we'll talk about the characteristics of time. So one thing that we need to keep in mind in terms of the characteristics of the time is that the time, however, okay, let's say eons. What we saw yesterday, say the universe started. From what we learned from physics, the universe started like 15 billion years ago. 15 billion years is a time. 15 billion years is the span of time. It's a massive length of time. And then we talk about, okay, say the Buddha Shakyamuni period like 2,600 years ago. As compared to this 15 billion years, the 2,000 years ago, 2,000 years is just very short. And, but still, the people in those days, we don't remember them. And except for, say, the Mahavir, the Lord Mahavir, the founder of the Jainism, Jain religion. And then the Buddha Shakyamuni's, for example, the father, King Shuddhadan, and then the mother, and the Maya Devi, and so on. We remember those because of the Buddha Shakyamuni. Otherwise, for sure in those days, like 1 or 2 billion human beings were there. For sure, 1 or 2 billion human beings were there. We are there. Who are there? We have no clue. They just within that short span of time, like 2,000 years, we don't even remember them. And then you go to, like, say, Malaysia. Okay, how many people in Malaysia? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, Malaysia. The Malaysia today
Malaysia today, people say that it's just 400 years history. Beyond that, no clue what Malaysia was. No clue. And then now through excavations, they would see, for example, like additionnaly, Lama Selimpa, additionnaly, it had been about 1,000 years, way older than the today's Malaysian history. And through the excavations, they could find the many traces of Buddhist sites, which far predates 400 years. So what I'm saying is that this is time. Time, I'll say the last bit of time and a small span of time. And then we talk about, okay, now each one of us, we may have another like 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. The younger ones may have another 50, 60 years to live. That's it. And then say 2019 has just 360 something, and of this half is gone. And this flower is mainly for orchids. Live for how long? Orchid flowers live for how long? Huh? Okay, let's say 15 days, 1 month, in some cases 1 month. If you take care of them, 1 month, if not like 10, 15 days, it will disappear. Okay, so and then let's say the food that we prepare, for how long does it last? For how many days? The food that, for example, the organic cheesecake, if you prepare, how many days will it last if you don't put it in the freezer? Half a day? Okay, like half a day and so forth, right? Okay, so that will be see, and then for example, let's say the duration of some insects, maybe like 10 days, 5 days, and then for example, how the minute hand moves, how the second hand moves, so they're all time. So time varies. Some are very short and some are very long. Okay, with this in mind, time is the span of time where, how are what did you say, time?
It's a succession of moments.
It's a succession of moments. Jane, what did you say, time? Characteristics of the impermanence between relationship between the two objects. Okay, so from what two of them are saying, and then someone also says something. Anybody else? Time. Okay, it doesn't matter. So the time from what two of them said, time means there's a gap between the two moments. There's a gap between two moments. Gap between two moments. And however tiny the time, however short a duration of time, it should necessarily have the beginning and the end. These two are not the same. If the beginning and end, these two are same, there's no time. Okay, this was what happened in 2004. I talked about the Israeli scientist, physicist in Cambridge. We had quite a number of encounters. One of which was that he asked me, our common friend told him that I'm interested in physics. And then he asked me, okay, what question do you have? Then I was seriously asking him about the momentum and so forth. And he said that time does not exist. He said, time does not exist. Then I told him, no, I want you to speak on behalf of physics, not on behalf of you. I told him, you should speak on behalf of physics. I'm asking a very serious, very genuine question. I'm not talking just to debate with you. He said, no, time doesn't exist. That's a word of speed. Speed is distance by time. So without the time, how can you talk about speed? He said that just time is illusion, it doesn't exist. Then we started having a discussion whether or not time exists. Okay, so keep that aside. This is a huge debate. So the point is time. What we learn is that, for example, 1 year is a time. 1 aeon is a time. 15 billion years is a time. 1 hour is a time. 1 millisecond is time. Say, however short a time is, longer span of time, we understand that it has, it lasts long. But however short a time is, by the very definition, time means it should have a beginning, middle and end. If the time does not have these three facets, these three factors, it is not a time. In other words, the beginning and end should not be same. If the beginning and end is to the same, there is no time. Beginning and end should not be same. Because these are not same, and they should be where we speak about, okay, yes, I'm in the present moment. I'm in the present moment. Okay, past is gone. Future is yet to come. Okay, in other words, we live in past, present or future? Hey, tell me. Present. We live in present. We live in present moment. Okay, don't mix this concept. We live in present and some meditations or be in present moment. Okay, don't mix the two things. Keep that aside. We live in the present moment. We live in the present. And then today's what, 9th. And when the 10 July comes, then 9 July becomes past. Okay, 9 July becomes past. So we live in the present moment. And present moment is also time. Do you agree with me or not? Present moment is also time. Okay, so in other words, time, present makes sense only if there is past and future. Past makes sense only if there is present and future. Future makes sense only if there is present and past. These three times, these three are dependent or mutually dependent on each other. Okay, so without the present, the past and the future makes no sense. And we live in the present moment. Do you agree with me or not? Huh? Okay. And our mind exists in time or space. Only in time. Our mind exists only in time. Don't forget it. In other words, where's Howard? So this class is typically for Howard. Yeah. He wants to know the emptiness of the mind and he's gone. Huh?
He will be back in time.
Okay, somebody, younger one will go to look for him? Yes, Jane, thank you. Yes.
Et c'est quoi le présent? C'est la transition, mais c'est une heure, une seconde, une fraction de seconde. C'est quoi la limite du présent? C'est juste quelque chose qui est, comme vous dites, entre relation entre le passé et le futur, mais le présent, il n'existe pas non plus en lui-même.
So, what is the present time? Time is the present is a transition between past and future, but how long endures present? It doesn't exist by itself.
Okay, this exact what Shal is saying is exactly what we're going to discuss here. Shal, don't worry. This is exactly what we're going to discuss here. This whole the discourse. Yeah. Any more questions before Howard comes? Any more questions? Well, lucky no question. Yes.
Do you have a definition of time in Buddhist philosophy?
Okay. It's a good question. Not really as a time. We speak of time, so okay, first you have to translate your question. Okay, time, we explore or we analyze what time is and what are the facets of time. That the time should be understood as past, present, future, and then whether or not time exists objectively. All these things are analyzed. But so the point is that if somebody asks the question, what is time, then we have to define it. Yeah. This is how the philosophy, they all grow. But the main concepts remain the same. Then the additional concept, depending on the circumstances, questions coming on different circumstances, and then the philosophers, they come, if the philosopher happens to be Buddhist, then they say this is Buddhist definition. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Jane.
I'm sorry.
No problem. No problem. Okay, so what we're talking about is that the emptiness of the mind and emptiness of feeling. Number one, emptiness of feeling, then the emptiness of the mind. And if you come to know the emptiness of the mind, and okay, first let's put it emptiness of feeling. First, let's put it like this: emptiness of feeling, say depressing feelings. Okay, there are two issues. One is that all of us invariably go through very difficult times, very unpleasant feelings, depressing situations. So there, how can I uplift myself? Number one. Number two is Howard's question. The question is that to see this emptiness of the self, we have to see that 6 elements of the self as a part of that. To know the 6 elements of the self, we have to know the element of consciousness also not with the self. And this, Howard says, that it's very difficult to understand how the element of consciousness is not the self. Okay, so we are dealing with these two things. In both cases, consciousness, to see the consciousness not to be the self, number one, then to see the emptiness of the depressing mental states or the depressing feelings of the mind. Two, in both cases, we should know the emptiness of mind. To know the emptiness of mind, we have to know the emptiness of time. If you know the emptiness of the time, then the emptiness of mind becomes very easy. If you know the emptiness of mind, then the emptiness of the depressing mind, depressing feeling, because feeling is a part of the mind. Depressing feeling becomes very easy. Then the emptiness of once the empty mind is seen as empty object existence, then the mind cannot be identified as a solid object, as a person. So the element of consciousness is to be rejected as a self. Okay, this is the basic framework of what we do now. Okay. So what is important now with this? What is important is okay. So with this, what is important is for us to do is, okay, in a way we are seeing the emptiness of the self, emptiness of the time, then as well as we are seeing the emptiness of the mind. So this you should be able to extrapolate to the feelings. Feelings is a part of the mind. Okay, how we do is that the mind, the time we discussed already, that however short the time is, time should necessarily have 3 components: the beginning, middle, and end. For example, say 2019, the beginning is gone, January is gone, and the end, December is yet to come, and we are in the middle, beginning, middle, and end. Okay, in other words, the time should necessarily have 3 components, which is the past, present, and the future. Past is gone, future is yet to come, and the present is what we're experiencing. Okay, now the mind which exists, the mind, in the case of the experience of the gong, the sound of the gong, experience is gone, we're going to observe where this present moment of the mind is. Present moment of the mind. And when we see that the present moment is mind's illusion, then the past makes sense only with respect to the present. Future makes sense only with respect to the present. So when the present is seen as like an illusion, then the past and future also easily can be seen as illusion. Then what is time? Time is there's no separate time separate from the present, past and the future. Likewise the mind, there's no separate mind separate from the present moment of the mind, past moment of the mind and future moment of the mind. Okay, this is how we're going to explore. For that matter, what I would suggest is just follow the instructions very sincerely. Follow the instructions very sincerely. Don't try to bring in, correlate, or calculate, or say look for debates, or even if you disagree a little bit, then this contributes with. Don't try to correlate anything for the time being. Just follow the instructions. Whatever instructions given, follow them, and whatever questions asked, you give the answer. What comes to your mind? What naturally comes to your mind? Okay, this is what we're going to do. Okay, we are going to explore what the present moment of the mind is. What the present moment of the mind is. Okay, before we listen to the gong, just close eyes, and observe your mind. And your mind may not be too, you may not appear to your mind, appear to you so clearly. Don't worry. Okay, are you agitated? No. Are you hyper? No. I'm calm. Okay, this is my mind is calm. We just observe this mind. Don't worry, don't think about the past mind. Don't think about the future mind. Just think about the present moment. What are you experiencing? Don't think about what you experienced. Don't think about what you are going to experience. Just think about what you are experiencing, which is the present moment. Just experience it. Even you may not be able to articulate, don't worry. Just to observe it. I'll give you a few seconds, 20 seconds. Okay, good. Now come out. As I said earlier, I'm warning you again. Don't ruminate over the past, thought processes, analysis, meditation, and so forth. Don't anticipate anything. Oh, what he may say later now. What next he's going to say. Don't anticipate anything in the future. Don't ruminate over the past experiences. Simply be in the present moment. Follow the instructions, and be very honest. Be very sincere to the answers that you're giving. Okay, my question to you. While I asked you to just observe your mind with respect to that particular time, did you have the experience that, yes, I am experiencing my mind? Did you have that experience? Did you have that experience with respect to the time I asked you to observe your mind? With respect to that time, not now. With respect to that time, did you have the feeling that I am experiencing my mind?
No.
Yes? No? What have you been doing then?
I was experiencing something without the feeling I am experiencing. I was just experiencing.
You experienced?
Yeah.
Very good. With respect to that time, your experience was so alive. Okay, how many of you heard that? Very good. Okay, now it's going to be more concrete. I will hit the gong. Just listen to the gong. Your job is just listen to the gong and observe the gong, sound of the gong. Observe the sound of the gong. Don't ruminate over the bell, the gong which we pressed this morning for the single thought meditation. That is past. Don't think about what would be the next gong tomorrow. Just think about, no think, just observe and feel the presence of this gong, the sound of the gong. The present moment, in other words, the present moment of the gong. Okay, this ready. Okay. With respect to that time, did you have a feeling, the experience of the sound of the present moment of the sound of the gong with respect to that time? Did you have the experience of the present moment of the sound of the gong? Raise hands. Those who, yes, I had the feeling. Yes, this is the present moment. This present moment. Raise hands. Okay, how many of you not sure? Okay, those who not sure, raise your hand. Keep raising your hands. This is penalty for you. Keep raising your hands and listen. I'm asking you. Can you hear the sound?
Yes.
How about you hear the sound?
Yes.
Yes, this is the present moment.
Well, actually,
Don't ruminate, I told you. Don't ruminate.
but it's impossible for the sound that I think I'm hearing in the present for it not to be coming from the future.
I didn't ask you whether from the past, future. I didn't ask that. I simply asked you whether you are hearing the sound.
Yes.
Whether you are hearing the sound. Okay, listen. While I hit this, I'll again ask the question. All of you. Are you hearing the sound?
Yes.
This is the present moment. You get it now? Okay. Now, I'll give you another chance. Again, observe it. So well observe it. Right? The next is going to be more complicated. Now is the easy. Right? It's a relaxed exercise. Next one is very complicated. Okay, listen. Okay, if that time while the gong was going through the sound, if that time were to be replicated now, imagine that you are in that time, are you hearing the sound? Do you hear what I'm saying? If that time when the gong was hit, when you were hearing the sound, if this time now is gone, past. So this time if I bring it now present, imagine that this time I brought it in the present moment. Are you hearing the sound? Yes. No. Why not?
If you were to replicate.
If I were to replicate, is what I'm saying. How many say yes? How many say no?
Are you asking if we're hearing the same sound that we heard before, or a sound?
What I said, if I'm to replicate, or just metaphorically, if I'm to just cut this piece of time, the past time, bring it here now, then I'm asking you, are you hearing the sound?
No.
Huh?
No.
How do you say no? But why no? Why no? Why no? Why no? Jane, yes. Yes, Dominic.
Parce que le son ne correspond plus au présent. Ainsi que le dupliqué ne correspond plus au moment présent.
Because if we duplicate, it doesn't correspond to the present moment anymore.
Okay. So now I understand what Dominic is saying. Yes, Jane.
Tout simplement, je peux me l'imaginer, me le représenter, mais je ne l'entends pas.
I can imagine, I can have some kind of representation like that, but I don't hear them.
Okay. Anybody else? Yes. Maria, you said I'm hearing, not hearing.
Est-ce que tu l'as entendu ou pas?
Non.
Est-ce que ta réponse était oui, je l'entends ou pas?
Mais quand on duplique déjà, ce n'est pas le même son. Mais sauf que on a pris le futur du son que j'ai entendu pour le ramener au présent où je suis. Et donc c'est...
So we cannot hear it again because it's past now. So
Okay, now let's not duplicate it. Duplicate it becomes more complicated. Okay, let's make it very precise. Okay, listen to this. Listen to the present moment of the sound. Okay, last chance. Listen to the present moment of the sound. Okay, when you were listening to the sound, did you hear the sound?
Yes.
How many heard the sound? Raise your hands. How many did not hear the sound? Raise your hands. Okay, everybody heard the sound. Good. When you heard the sound, with respect to that time, when you were hearing the sound, with respect to that time, did you hear the sound in the present form or in the past form? With respect to that time, did you hear the sound, the present sound, or the past sound, or the future sound? What sound did you hear? Present. Yes, you were hearing it. Okay. Now, more complicated one. You want to try this once more before we go to complicated one? Huh? Don't be scared. Huh?
No.
No, you don't want to go. Okay. Now the next point is the present moment. With respect to that time when you were hearing the sound, the present moment, did it exist or not?
Yes.
The present moment of the sound was gone. Did it exist or not?
Yes.
Present moment of mind which experiences sound, did it exist or not?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Huh?
Moment présent,
Yes. Okay. If it did not exist now, then your mind even now is not existent. If it not, then the lunch break is also non-existent. Then will not, if the lunch break is non-existent, will not return for lunch. And cake is non-existent. Lunch cake is non-existent. Right? Those who say I do not expect, they did not exist, not sure, will not get the cake. Okay, now a little more complicated. It's not too complicated. It's a little more complicated. Now your job is, because you said that the present moment exists. Yes, problem is alive, living, existent, living. Your job is to just observe that present moment. Because present moment, is it a time or not?
Yes.
Huh? Present moment is a time. Present moment of hearing the sound is a time. Time should have beginning, middle and end. It should have a length. If the beginning and end these two are simultaneous, it is not a time. It should have a length. Length should be measurable. You have to observe the length of the length of the time of the present moment of this sound. Ready? Your job is to listen and see to the length of the first. Listen to the present moment of sound, not the past and future. Present moment of sound, and see what is the length of this moment. 1 second, 10 seconds, whatever. Okay. Ready? Okay, tell me, what's the length of the present moment of the sound? Daniela?
We cannot pinpoint the exact moment.
Don't worry about the exact moment, average. Average? What's the length of time? No, Daniela.
I don't know.
You don't know? You try it again? You want to try again?
30 seconds.
Huh?
30 seconds.
Okay. Okay, a minute 30 seconds. The Martin?
We have to use the length of the sound to define the length of the present.
My question is, do you know the duration of 1 second?
Yeah, it was as long as the sound.
No, do you know what's the meaning of 1 second?
Yeah, I did not.
You know that, right? 1 second.
Yeah.
You know 1 hour.
Yeah.
Okay, likewise, this duration, the present moment of the sound, how long was the duration?
I don't know, maybe 50 because it was
I asked you to observe it. You may not be too precise, don't worry. Just tell me approximately what's the duration. Okay, Virginia? Yes? 20 seconds. Virginia, 18? 8 seconds. Okay, Howard?
The present at any one time is infinitesimal.
Which means? Present moment is?
Infinitesimal.
It's very small.
As small as it would be conceivable, which is infinitesimal.
Which cannot possibly be conceived, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's not forget what Howard said. Anybody else? Prashila? Huh? 15 seconds. Anybody else? 8 seconds. Okay. Virginia and Marie, you're from the same place? In Paris? Okay. To the Gujarat.
A nanosecond?
Nanosecond. Wow. Nanosecond. Yes, Thomas?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. No, it lasted only for half a minute. I hit the gong, the sound lasted for half a minute, and you experienced it for 2 minutes. Wow, that's amazing. Maybe gravity?
My perception.
Oh, yes, person. Okay, anybody? 10 seconds. Mike?
I thought 8 seconds.
8 seconds.
I thought 30.
30 seconds. 15 seconds. Huh?
I say 30 seconds.
30 seconds. No, you didn't say 30 seconds. You said you forgot it. You said 50 seconds. 30 per millisecond. Okay, it doesn't matter. 30 seconds. Okay. The Martin didn't know. Okay. In Virginia, 20 and 8 seconds. Here,
Immeasurable.
Huh?
Immeasurable.
Immeasurable too long or too small?
Too small. I cannot measure.
Too small. Okay. Charles, how long was the present moment sound?
5 seconds.
5 seconds. Thomas, 2 minutes. Okay. Sophie?
I didn't contact him.
Huh?
I didn't contact him.
Okay, never mind. Frank?
I go with Howard. Very, very short.
Okay. Are you experiencing the present moment now? Experiencing it?
Yeah.
Are you experiencing it?
Yeah.
How long is that?
It's very short.
Too small.
Yeah.
Too small. Okay. How many of you in the same category? Mark?
The duration of the sound, I think the sound is still working.
Now, the sound.
The sound, you hit the gong, then that may be evaluating.
No, my question is, did you experience the sound of the gong?
Yes.
What is the duration?
The same word as you hit gong. Not in the same present moment as you hit gong.
No. I hit it and then the sound came out. And the sound, I hit only once. But sound lasted for long.
Sounds very long. Very long. It's still going on.
Sorry?
It is still going on.
No, it's not going now. You can hear it.
No, no.
This is what I'm saying. How long the sound you heard?
We are experienced vibrating of air about 10 seconds.
Oh, very good. 10 seconds. Okay, Isabel?
Je ne sais pas comment formuler ça, la durée de l'instant présent du son, on ne peut pas savoir parce que la durée c'est une succession d'instants déjà passés avec l'instant présent. Ça continue, mais l'instant présent on ne peut pas le calculer. Enfin, c'est infinitésimal comme le disait Howard, et je crois que c'est encore inférieur à ça.
Isabel said that it's difficult to express that. It would be like what said Howard. It's too infinitesimal. It's even shorter than infinitesimal.
Okay. So what Isabel said is very true. It is difficult. So therefore I told you that it's difficult. You're getting it? It's not easy. Oath? Oath. Isabel the same. Okay, good. Laura?
The way I would say it would be that it's whatever length of time it is that it would have a tiny little moment that would have a past, present, and future.
This is not my question. My question, how long is the duration of the present moment?
That tiny speck of moment, whatever that is. The tiniest you could possibly have.
Tiniest?
Yeah.
Okay, there's no tiniest, which means there's no present. You didn't hear it. Did you hear?
I heard a continuum.
Okay, did you hear the present moment?
I did not hear the actual
moments
that passed.
No, the past is not what I'm asking. I'm asking the present moment.
I know. I did not hear those.
The present moment. You do not hear the present
I
moment.
heard them, but I can't tell you what that measurement is.
Okay, you can tell me, which means it's difficult.
Yeah.
Okay, so therefore look, this is not easy. Okay, Bas?
I say 13 seconds.
13 seconds. Okay, the Katya?
The complete sound was 40 seconds, but it's all the waves, for all the waves, and the first and second is very short, and I can't tell that.
Did you hear? Did you hear? My question is, did you hear? Did you hear the present moment of the sound?
Yes.
Yes. How long? How long?
Very short.
Very short. How very short? Like what?
I don't know. Nanosecond.
Huh?
Nanosecond.
Nanosecond. Nanosecond?
I can't tell that.
Okay. Okay, you can tell that.
Yes.
Okay. Cecile?
I would say fraction of second.
Fraction? What do you mean fraction? It's very vague. Huh? 1 millisecond?
Smaller than a second.
Smaller than a second mean thousands of smaller than a second. What Howard is saying? Howard is saying is the one, the rebellious version.
No, it's a very small instant.
Okay, very small.
Very short instant.
Shorter than 1 millisecond?
Than 1
millisecond?
millisecond?
1 second split into 1,000.
No.
No?
Not as.
Then 100th of a second?
Maybe yes, I don't.
Okay, let's say 100th of a second. And Patrick?
I think I hear a lot of present instants, but I can't tell the duration of each of them.
Okay, so look, this is a problem. I can't tell. You getting it? It's not easy. Yes.
The duration, just the duration of the sound was 30 seconds, but the duration of the present moment of the sound does not exist because it can only exist if there is the past and.
In other words, you do not experience the present moment. Is what you're saying?
Maybe convolution.
There's no present moment.
lot.
Yes,
of
well,
present.
my
Hey, listen. Did you hear the present moment? Are you hearing now?
yes,
Are you hearing it?
yes.
What did you hear? The present sound. What is that duration of the present sound which you heard? This is my question.
I cannot tell.
You cannot. It's difficult. You're getting it? Very good. Thomas?
I change my mind in the same way.
Huh?
I change my mind in the same way.
Well, Thomas is 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, but you tricked me.
I took me.
No, you asked for une question fermée.
That's a closed question. Yes or not, something like this.
Yeah. So it's a verb when I measure it, but when I don't measure
So you can give the answer very easily, yes, no.
Yeah.
So very difficult. Again difficult, right? Okay. Prashila is like 3 seconds or 8 seconds? 15 seconds. Oh. And Sophie?
Anne-Sophie.
À chaque fois, j'essaie de voir un moment, à chaque fois, ça sera toxicé et j'ai pas vu un moment le plus petit possible en fait. J'ai pas réussi.
So every time she tried to check the moment, and it began smaller and smaller and smaller.
Okay, listen. Are you hearing? Are you hearing the present moment?
I hear it.
Very
But
good.
it's difficult to
What's the duration? Difficult. Again difficult. You getting it? Okay. Mary, what time did you say?
J'ai dit 8 secondes.
8 seconds. Okay. Christophe?
It's very brief.
Very brief. Okay, so what we can say is that there are 3 categories. One who has a specific amount of time. 30 seconds, 15 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Very specific amount of time. One category. Number 2 is that the very short time. Number 2. Number 3 is I cannot say. It's very difficult. I cannot track the present moment. 3. You getting it? Okay, there are three groups. Of the 3, we see that particularly those people who say that I cannot say. Those people is very important to observe it in your house. In your house, in your room, here, as well as when you go back after retreat, you have to constantly do this exercise. Do you hear the present moment? All of you, do you hear the present moment? Yes, present moment, some of you are hearing it. And present moment is, okay, 1. Yes, I'm hearing the present moment, 1. Number 2, present moment is time, number 2. Number 3, time should have a specific length. Time should have a length. Right? Okay, with these 3 points, you should be able to say, what is that? What's the time duration? Okay, now, for sure you have experienced, because you experience the present moment, it's a time. And no doubt, it is not longer than half a minute, because I kept it ringing for the sound. I stopped the sound within half a minute. So it is not longer than half a minute. And for sure, this present moment, if you heard, how many would say that I undeniably heard the present moment, the sound? Raise your hands. I undeniably heard the present moment, the sound. I heard it. Okay. How many say that yours? I'm not sure I heard it. I do not hear, I'm not sure. Raise your hands. Okay, which means we all heard. We all heard. We all undeniably heard the present moment. If you undeniably heard the present moment is time. Do you agree with me or not? Okay.
Yes.
Time should have a length, specific length. You getting it? Good. Now, the next part. Before we move to the next part, we will do the exercise once more. I'll give you the next chance. Last chance. Ready? Ready? Okay, we'll do it again. Close eyes. Close eyes. Okay, listen. The present moment. Okay. Point 1. Did you undeniably heard the present moment of the sound? Yes. Number 2. Present moment of the time should have a length, specific length? Yes, no. This length, present moment, is not longer than half a minute, because I kept it only for half a minute. Present moment that you heard is not longer than half a minute. Okay. Does somebody have an A4 size paper? Maybe Mary can give me one sheet. Mary can give me one sheet. Mary. No, just the tier 1 page. One. Only one. I wish the table is a little higher, so that you cannot see that.
You can put the small one on the big one. You can put the small table on the big table.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. Yes, she's sitting on the chair. Okay, I'll show you something. And what Howard and what Frank said, the duration is too minuscule, too short, very short. You heard that present moment? The present moment is very short. Okay, I'll be more generous than 2 of them. I'll show you this, what I wrote here, for much longer duration than what Howard and Frank said. And you tell me what I wrote. Ready? Okay, ready? The duration that I showed you is much longer than what Howard and Frank said. Much longer. It's like 1/10 of a second. And what they are saying is like 1/100th of a second or 1 millisecond, which is a 1,000th of a
No, I
second.
didn't say that. I said infinitesimal, which means that it's infinitely small. I said.
Infinitely small means smaller than 1 millisecond.
Well, infinitely smaller.
Which means smaller than 1 millisecond, because it can go even deeper, smaller than a millisecond. 1 second can be divided into millions of seconds. It can go smaller than 1 millionth of a second. But what I showed is longer than 1/10 of a second. Okay, second attempt. I'll give you again. I'll show this again. Ready? I'll be very generous with my time. Right? I'll give you like 2/10 of a second. Ready? What did you see? What did I write there? Something. You did not see, because okay. So Patrick wants to try. Because Patrick could not see what was in there because it was blocked by. Okay, now Patrick, for you. Ready? What is written there? It's much longer than 2/10 of a second. 2/10 of a second. Much longer. What I'm saying, when the duration is too short, our mind does not have the capacity at the moment to register. If the sound of the gong, the present moment of the sound is shorter than like 100, maybe like 1/20th of a second, you cannot hear that. Because your mind cannot register that. You're getting it? So therefore, it must have a duration. It cannot be less than, let's say, 100th of a second. It cannot be longer than half a minute, because I kept it only for half a minute. So if you have undeniably heard the sound of the gong, it should be between 100th of a second to half a minute. Like what's half a minute? 30 seconds. In between. In between means there's a time span. Time span means time span should have. So listen, this is a very important part. Time span should have beginning, middle, and end. Any time it should necessarily have beginning, middle, and end. Oh. Any time it should have beginning, middle, and end. Right? So the time taken, that what you call as the present moment of the time, it should have a beginning, middle, and end. And Sophie, you don't need to worry. She's worrying for all of us. Yeah. Okay, so this moment that you experienced, you thought, undeniably experienced something, present moment. The duration, that's the duration. And that duration is the time. Do you agree with me now? That's very important. That's duration, time. And time, any time should necessarily have a beginning, middle, and end. Beginning and end, these are not simultaneous. If this is simultaneous, it's not a time. And the beginning is gone, past. End is yet to come. I only ask you to focus on the present moment, not the past and the future. So, what you thought of the time, let's say 100th of a second. Some of you say 30 seconds. Some of you say 10 seconds. Some of you say 15 seconds. Some of you say 8 seconds. Whatever time duration, let's say 8 seconds. 8 seconds, it should have beginning, middle, and end. 2 seconds at the beginning, they're gone. Then the remaining 2 seconds of the end, they're yet to come. Now what you are left with is only 4 seconds in the middle. Even the 4 seconds also have a beginning, middle, and end. Of the 4 seconds, let's say if the first second is beginning, gone. Then the last second is end yet to come. If you experience something in the present moment, it should be only 2 seconds. Even the 2 seconds also have beginning, middle, end. Beginning is gone. Middle is yet to, end is yet to come. The middle, like 1 second. 1 second again is the time. Is the beginning, middle, and end. You go like this, it will become shorter than 1/1,000,000th of a second. It becomes 1/1,000,000th of a second. Your mind does not have the capacity to experience that. But you said that you experienced it. No, you said you experienced that. You said I undeniably experienced that. So what you experienced was not actually a present moment of the sound. What you thought you experienced, present moment of sound, you did not really experience. But yes, I entered. That is how our mind is playing a trick on our mind. What we experience is just actually not really there. You have not really experienced that duration of that length of the time as the present moment. So what you thought you experienced was not really what you experienced. Then what is that? What is that? So therefore it is like an illusion. Logically speaking, you have not really experienced anything. You have not experienced any moment of the present moment. You cannot look at what the present moment is. Present moment of the mind. You cannot look at it. When you cannot look at the present moment, where's the past? Past makes sense only if the present moment is there. And the future makes sense only if there's a present moment there. So the 3 times makes no sense. If the three times makes no sense, then the time makes no sense. If the time makes no sense, then the mind which exists in time makes no sense. It's just illusion. Okay, we'll continue this afternoon. This afternoon is actually on emptiness, right? The what? Meditation sample on emptiness this afternoon. Okay, we'll stop here. We'll continue this most likely tomorrow morning or otherwise the remaining parts will be very short. The remaining part will continue this afternoon and then we'll do the meditation and on emptiness. Okay. Om Gade Gade Aragate Arasamgate Bodhiswatyata Om Gade Gade Aragate Arasamgate Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswatyata. Okay, 3 questions.